Welcome again, Credible Vegetable Report gang. It is Craig Slate and Matt Mandel coming to you from all far-flung places around the United States and spaces. Matt Mandel today coming to you from beautiful Tucson, Arizona, and Craig Slate reporting in from Northern California. On this week's episode, we'll be updating you all on, of course, the weather. We got a weather report, and I think it's still hot out there. There's nothing shocking on that one. We've got some retailers nationwide. They are already preparing for back to school.
Oh, back to school.
Some retailers out there hustling the heat 'em up Herbies, if you would. Now, if you don't know what that is, stick around. We'll talk about what a heat 'em up Herbie is. I see Matt looking at me with questions in his mind. And then there's the closing part of the show. We'll talk a little about soil that is smart, or you might say smart soil. So guys, stick around and watch and listen however you prefer to consume this kind of information. But before we get things started, I got to bring in Mr. Detroit, Matt Mandel. Matt Mandel, welcome to the show.
Woo! Good morning and greetings from Tucson, but not for long. As you can see, I'm sporting my Lions gear. I am about to head to the airport to head back to beautiful Michigan. But before we do that, we got to inform our guests of what the hell is going on in the produce world.
And what is happening in the produce world, Matt? I mean, but you know, wait, Michigan, is this are you going to get married? Is there somebody getting married? What is going on in Michigan?
My wife would be a little upset if I was heading to my own wedding and she wasn't invited. But
hey, polygamy's a thing, Matt.
I'm not in Utah. I'm in Arizona. You can go ahead and bleep that out if you need to. Not trying to offend anybody here.
There's no offense. I don't even know what that meant, man. I don't know why that was even a reference.
Me neither. No, my cousin got married last year, and we're finally having a little family reunion, get together party / hopefully not shit show. You know, when you get the family together and have a few pops, you never know what you're gonna get. Hopefully it's nice, fun, low key, but we'll see. Next week I'll be able to tell you whether I survived and what kind of shenanigans we got up to.
I'm sure you'll survive, you know, and one of my favorite artists hails from the state of Michigan. You know who that is? You probably do.
Eminem. Kid Rock.
No, hell no. No, man. Come on.
Ted Nugent.
Are you kidding me? I'm talking about the great Anthony Kiedis.
Do you know where?
That, my friend. Yeah, Michigan. He quickly moved to California as a young child to live with his father.
Ypsilanti? Am I remembering that correctly?
Ooh, it's been a bit since I've read Scar Tissue, but highly recommend that book. If you have not read Scar Tissue, folks, I'm going to tell you, it's a pretty tough read when you think about the man's life, but I'm telling you right now, it's a great freaking story, and it's amazing. And I know the Red Hot Chili Peppers are an amazing band, and Anthony Kiedis being at the front end of it, he represents well. So,
yeah. And with all that being said, let's actually talk some turkey and produce, because you know we could go on forever about music, but that's not what we're here for this morning. We are here to talk produce. And
let's talk. Tell us about the weather, man. What's happening out there? I mean, it's not hot here. I've already given you a hard time about, you know, got my hoodie. Let me put it up here because I am a little chilled. But tell me about what's going on in Arizona.
I'm going to apologize in advance if I'm sweating. No, it's still hot. You know, we've had as of yesterday, we are experiencing the hottest July on record in the United States on the aggregate. Most of that due to the West Coast that we've talked about in Northwest. However, there is good news that this coming week should actually finally start to get a little cooler in the Southeast and through Texas. So that should definitely bring down the average, but I don't know that it's going to bring it down enough that this is likely to go on record as the hottest recorded July in the United States on record. So
is that right?
It is. It's been a hot one. and that's not great. But again, with the good news of cooler weather coming to the southeast, and most of the East Coast should actually be at or below normal temperature. So that is a positive. However, with the good news always comes the bad, or at least the speculative bad news.
Good news, bad news. What you got?
Good news and bad news. Bad news. Drum roll, please. Looking at the long range models, the Euro model, which actually has probably been the most accurate over the last couple of months, is showing 10 to 15 days out a storm brewing off the southeast coast of Florida. So you heard it here first. August 10th. Keep your hold on to your butts. However, it's looking like it's going to skip the peninsula and head into the Gulf, which is never a good thing. Discussed before, as storms head into the Gulf, they gain even more strength typically. So we shall see. All models are helpful, or some models are helpful, and all models are wrong. So we will see whether or not this comes to bear. But hot weather tends to breed storms, and storms transfer heat energy from the ocean, bringing up water, bringing it into the land, and that's how the Earth's thermostat works. Not to get all philosophical on you, but
So
that's how it
Matt,
works.
meteorologist Matt, thank you, sir. So what was the predicted date you had? What are we putting down there, Mister?
August 10th.
There's a hurricane coming, according to Matt Mandel, hitting. Did you say Louisiana? Is it hitting
There's a
Louisiana?
storm
Where
coming.
is it hitting?
So the
What?
models.
I'm not asking for the model. I'm asking for meteorologist Matt Mandel to. I want you to put. I want you. There's put the envelope on your head, and I want you to envision where that storm's coming. We're really going to impress these people.
If I had to guess, yes, it's probably going to be northeast Texas, Louisiana. That's just the most likely landing spot for storms this time of year.
There you have it, folks. August 10th. You folks can go ahead and start moving out your stuff, getting out of South Louisiana, Houston area, heading north because there's a.
Let's not panic yet. Next week we'll discuss exactly where it is and where it's going, and should have much better information by then. And again, I could be full of shit. Many people have accused me of that over the years.
Shit you are full of, sir. I'm going to call that now.
We shall see.
I think weather, you made me know something there. I think you probably got a little something going on there, but you're full of shit. That's for sure. I mean, come on. You're a Detroit fan. Jesus.
Oh, my God. All right, Cowboys. All right, Cowboys.
All right. So weather. I will say crop-wise, there's been no doubt. You can sense it. And when we talk a little bit about the zook and squash markets later, but all this heat is and has been taking a toll, and you're starting to see plants that are kind of wearing out in some of these spaces, and we're going to see. I think the quality is going to be tough come August, and it's really, kind of the residual effect of what all went on with all this heat that we had, even with the cooler temps. But we'll talk a little bit about that when we get to the markets later. What I want to do is, now that we've gone through this heat wave, is I want to talk a little bit about the good folks over at Walmart and their intro. They're quite tech savvy over at Walmart. They are.
So I've heard.
Yeah, it's there's Tesla and then there's Walmart. So that's kind of what I understand is out there. So in the tech world, but no, Walmart certainly they are cutting edge. They are always about what is next. I mean, whether it's home delivery, whether it's e-commerce, you name it. These guys, you got to hand it to them as a retailer. They don't sit still. They're kind of first in, and so. They've got a brand new facility over in the great state of Texas, guys, Lancaster, Texas.
Texas.
Salute. Anyway, they're doing all fresh produce, eggs, and dairy and flowers and all that good stuff. But it's a perishable warehouse, PDC, to keep everybody in tune with their favorite acronym of the day, PDC, Perishable Distribution Center.
So let me
But
ask you a question.
ask away, Matt Mandel.
What's so damn special about this PDC?
Well, it's state of the art. It's state of the art technology. It enables these guys to process more than double the volume of a traditional DC. They get the items onto the shelves faster than ever before. The workers, Matt, and I bet they're using RPC. Shout out to my friends at IFCO. Workers there can create the perfect pallet with fragile or fragile merchandise such as eggs, yogurts, drastically reducing the number of boxes they have to manually stack. The store-ready pallets are easy to unload the store, which helps maximize space on the truck, reducing trans costs and creating savings that can pass on to customers. So yeah, it's an automated, they've taken automation and I believe AI technology and started to implement that to really help them, building the pallets and organizing the warehouse and all that kind of stuff. So I'm actually anxious to go take a look at it because it's supposed to be pretty awesome what they've implemented in.
Is there any word as to whether this is the new model for their PDCs? Is this something they are testing?
I have not heard that. I mean, I would guess, if they're actually doubling, if this thing actually doubles the volume of a traditional DC, I'm going to go out there on a limb and say it's probably the new norm. But I don't know. It's probably, again, it's like this is all on paper. There's likelihood this is somewhat of a very expensive pilot project, if you will. But I don't know that this is this is going to be what they're going with forward, but my guess would be yes, if it
works. All right. If there's anybody in the Walmart logistics department watching or listening, please reach out. I want to pick your brain because
give me a ring.
This is interesting. It's very interesting whether or not they can roll this out to new DCs, if they can retrofit old ones. Obviously anything we can do to be more efficient in a tough labor market definitely helps. And it's worth noting in the article they did mention they are not cutting out employees in the DC. They are leveraging technology to make it more efficient.
That is correct. That's a good thing to point out, sir. Good thing to point out. Well, hey, you know what time it is, Matt?
It's time to get ill, according to the Beastie Boys.
I love it. Little musical reference. Well, what we were singing a couple of months back was "School is out for summer." You know who did
sound
that
just
song,
like Alice Cooper.
You know where he hails from, sir?
Oh, I know where he lives now. I don't know if this.
You know what? That's right. I don't know if he's from there or not. That where he has been for many years.
Yes, he's a Phoenix guy, Scottsdale, I believe.
Yeah, that is correct. He is a Scottsdalian, Arizona. It's been there for many years. So, but anyway, we're not singing "School is out for summer." The kids are now in the streets. I've seen them out here in California. They are singing, "I can't wait to get back to school. When is that gonna start, you fool?" They're about to get underway with a back to school time. And not only are the kids singing back to school, so are the retailers. And the Foundation for Fresh Produce is really pushing their back to school program. Right now, research, Matt, shows that toddlers are the only age group meeting recommended levels of fruit and veggie consumption. I found that funny, but funny in the sense that these guys have gotten no advertising. They've not read Peter Attia's book about health and wellness, and yet they're the guys that are winning. Why do you think that is? I mean, they're right now. Research shows toddlers, on average, are the age group meeting the recommended levels of fruits and veggies. Why is that?
Well, I'll tell you what. In my household, if we still had toddlers, when they were toddlers, my kids, that was the only time where they couldn't go into the pantry and grab food for themselves. So hopefully parents are trying to teach good eating habits to their children. I know in my household that is not the case. Our children had nice Oppie cherries this morning. They were delicious. So shout out to Oppie. In our household, that's not the case. But I think as kids grow up, if the parents do not keep an adequate amount of fruits and vegetables around and, in a format that's handy for kids to grab and snack, then they're just going to reach for whatever's available. And unfortunately, there's a lot of convenience foods that don't incorporate fruits and vegetables. That would be my guess.
Well, I don't have the answer to that. I will say something. You said cherries. I read that it's record low markets. They hit a record this year on markets being low. So just a little side note there. Yeah, not happy.
We're doing our part to help.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the deal is, but the guys at the Foundation for Fresh Produce, they are trying to look and change some of those habits or change some of that ways, and they're starting with the kids. So they got the toddlers. Now we're going to move up to the kids going to school, and as they go back to school, the foundation is launching its first ever month-long campaign, Hacks for Health, Back to School Habits. This initiative will collaborate with 9 national retail partners. There's Hy-Vee, there's Coburn's, there's Fresh Time, and Sarah Meyer National Grocer, Schnucks, United Stores, and Weiss Market. So each retail partner will offer different hacks on ways families to make the most of their shopping trip by introducing more produce into their baskets. And how are they going to do that? Well, you know what? They're going to make a contest. That's going to be one thing. So there's a shopper challenge. And this shopper challenge is you get punished when you get home if you didn't pick the right stuff and throw it in my basket. That's not it. Just kidding, Matt. It's not that. It's a fun game, so don't get concerned. Nobody gets punished for buying their you get the shop paddle when you did bad. You're getting the shop paddle when you get home. No.
You're triggering my PTSD over here.
I'm sorry. The shopper challenge. It's an engaging, fun. Families pick more produce-driven options. So it's a game where everybody's having fun. Nobody's getting the paddle. So don't worry about that. Just maybe that was the way it was for me. I don't know. Anyway, also offering shoppers individual consultations with consultations with registered dietitian, in-store magazines that propose healthier food alternatives, what they might usually purchase. So shout out to those guys over at the Foundation for Fresh Produce. That's good stuff. Young folks is where we want to start, and doing stuff at the schools and having these fun games and education, all that stuff. You know what? I think all those are great initiatives and great ways to drive consumption.
Drive consumption. And again, the healthiest foods on earth. If we can get people eating more of them, it's to everyone's benefit.
Indeed. We've got to catch up with the dadgum toddlers out there. So,
hey there, Cred heads. Craig Slate here. I just want to take a few minutes to take you through a little bit about what we're trying to do here at the Fresh Cred. Give you an insight into what's our mission and kind of what's our vision here. The mission ultimately is to drive fresh fruit and vegetable consumption. That's it. We want to do that ideally in the U.S., but if we can do it on a global scale, even better. But how are we going to do that? What's the vision? Well, we're utilizing this platform, which I believe is a great platform that a lot of people are gaining information and knowledge from, which is podcasting and video casting, if you will. And we're going to take and utilize this platform to connect leaders, to connect with the frontline people in the industry that are on the front lines, selling this stuff every day, to eventually connecting with consumers. That's eventually where we're going to go. And we're going to have a full connection between leaders in the industry, frontline workers, all the way to consumers. And we're going to do that with education and information about the industry and what's going on here. So we welcome you to come and join us here at the Fresh Cred and be part of this journey. So if you want to be part of it, hit me up at cslate at thefreshcred.com. That's C, my last name, SLATE, at thefreshcred.com. Shoot me an email, and I will certainly get in touch with you, and we'll talk about how you can be part of this great journey and this vision. We're having a good time. If nothing else, it'll be a lot of fun. So give me a shout. Thanks, guys.
I thought this was going to be a short version, but I've decided to rattle on a lot more than I normally do, which is bad.
And sing as well.
And sing as well. Yeah, people got a little Craig on the solo mic, but consumers still out there. Consumers, although there are issues with the inflation economy, prices are up. Everybody's griping about that, but they're still out there spending groceries, and they're spending it at food service. At this week, I'm at the food service show. Food service is still big. Circana experts estimate that 95% of the U.S. household, they showed concern about inflation. So pretty large group. Everybody's like, it's hot. I mean, it's not hot. It's high prices out there. But 61% of every dollar they spent on food and beverage, that was at the retail. So if you had 61% spent on food and beverage at your retail grocery store, guess what? 39% of that was spent at food service. So about 39% of the dollars are going to the food service. Of the food service eating out, 40% of that is breakfast. Large part of the eating out is the breakfast number. I was a little surprised by that, but apparently it is. Maybe people swinging through the old Mickey D's or sliding up to your local retail and running in and grabbing a couple of Krispy Kremes. I don't know. Just saying. I know that's not what we're supposed to be talking about, the Krispy Kremes, but people do that, right?
That's
Anyway.
I'm spending my dollars, but
but what's the opportunity at the retail space and what the article was really on was, and I do this, so I'm guilty of this. This is a piece that spoke to me, right? So, they've got all these prepared stuff now. So the food service deal, it's like half a hack, right? And so, you're not going out, sitting down, not bringing it out to your table, but it's the deli bars. I'm going in, they've already got fixed up, so I'll put it in a bucket and take it to the house. Or, which even the other is not even cooked. They got a couple of pieces of salmon stuck off with some herbs. For me, that's perfect. And, and same thing some of the consumers point out here, it actually saves on some of the food waste, right? You going in, you basically get, for Tanya and I knock it out, get a couple of meals. I get exactly right what we're going to eat, and we eat it. There's no waste. It's not sitting in the fridge waiting for me to get around to cooking it, throwing it out. So anyway, the article was good, and it was talking about how the deli and the takeaway from grocery was really starting to has been big and starting to pick up, and a lot of consumers lean into it. How about you, man? Do you do some of that?
absolutely. I got to say, though, it does not shock me that you eat out of a bucket. Not shocking, but no, we actually huge consumers of the take and bake options. Costco specifically has some fantastic ones, and the portions actually are perfect. We got a family of 4. Although my oldest son eats as much as Risa and I do, so it's a fantastic option. I get home, turn on the oven, preheat, throw it in there, and then within anywhere from half hour to 45 minutes, we got dinner on the table. It's extremely convenient, extremely healthy. They got a wide range of options as well. So you're bound to find something that'll suit your needs, your palate, and keep the kids happy as well.
Indeed. And take and bake. See, why can't I come up with something like that? That was good. I think best I had was, "We're good going back to school, you fool." That was my rhyme.
And throwing your food in a bucket.
See, people don't do that. Is it not called a bucket? What do you call that thing? A bin?
Tray. I don't know.
A tray. Oh, okay. So I brought the Walmart technology. What you got out there on the technology world, man?
Well, since we've been talking about the great state of Texas, we're going to pivot to your favorite college sports school,
the
University of Texas at Austin.
I gotta go. We're going to continue with that BS program now, but I'll let you run.
News out of the University of Texas Austin, they have developed a soil additive. It's a hydrogel is what they call it. What this gel can do, we're talking again back in growing crops and agriculture, as a soil additive, this can actually take moisture out of the air. Even in the driest places on earth, there actually is moisture in the air, and this hydrogel will actually pull moisture from the air and transport it into the soil to help watering the plants and keep a consistent and even source of water for the plants. It can actually hold nutrients as well to ensure a steady feeding of the plants. That sounds fine and dandy. However, the most intriguing part of this, they were actually able to grow crops that were 138% healthier by, I'm not sure entirely all the metrics they used to measure that, but 138% healthier. And I know they referenced stem thickness and length in the plants that they were observing, but they can do it with 40% less water inputs. You and I have talked, I don't know how many times on this show about the importance of water and the lack of water in so many different areas. And, frankly, we're not even talking about some of the most water-starved places on Earth. So, this could be a huge, huge game changer for extremely arid climates, allow them to grow crops where otherwise they may not have been able to before. So, it'll be interesting to see, the economics of it, see whether it actually makes sense on a commercial scale. So don't hold your breath, but hopefully we'll have more information on this super duper fantastic hydrogel sometime in the near future.
You told me to hold my breath.
I said, don't hold breath.
Oh,
your
sorry.
Listening skills are lacking this morning.
Yes, interesting stuff. I wonder, so, 138% increase in health, I guess.
I think, yeah, they said plant health. I believe they referenced stem length and thickness, whether or not that actually translates to.
Can I get some smart soil? I would venture to eat some. I mean,
I don't know that it actually helps the smarts. Maybe it'll help you with your hydration, but I don't know that it's going to make you any smarter. The world doesn't need an even smarter Craig Slate. We
oh
enjoy
my
your
God,
intelligence level right where it is.
What we need is a smarter ass Craig Slate. That's what we need. A Craig Slate that's a bit more of a smart ass. That's what I'm thinking.
That's absolutely. We all know you lack in that department.
All right, man. Well, that's good stuff. Let's get to the markets and let's get these folks out of here. Squash market, not too, like I say, not super exciting. It did. You know what? Called the bottom last week. I feel certain Zook did find a bottom. We're starting to see that thing turn a little bit. We're not probably quite back to double digits. We will be by the first part of next week. The squashes, the plants, everybody. Definitely the heat has had a toll on them, and we're starting to see some of that in marketplace and quality. And I think you'll see some less production because so much production came off over the last couple of weeks. Gray market's it's really been the winner for the last couple of weeks and continues in that vein. It's moved up a little bit to the $15-$16 range, and then yellow's kind of healthy. Any thoughts on the squash world, my friend?
Like I said, I said 2 weeks ago, I hope we'd found the bottom. I'm hoping, last week when I called the bottom that we do see that recovery you're talking about. And Zook specifically, hopefully climbing back into the double digits. Yellow has been hanging in there in the low tens and possibly sneaking into the teens. And gray has really been the workhorse of the marketplace. I'm not entirely sure what to attribute that to. Obviously, you and I have talked about it. If we got more people eating gray, if you've never had gray squash, I mean, it goes by several different names. Go try it. It is probably the best eating squash out there as far as the three colors that we typically talk about. So if you are not familiar, go familiarize yourself with it.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody. In fact, Tanya sauteed some gray squash last night, and in between my endeavors, I had a little gray squash, and yeah, I'm with you, people. And I had a conversation with somebody in the food space business as well that it's something to try. So for sure, get out, get your gray squash, and I do think demand's up on that, and there's just not a lot of domestic producers or good producers in that space. So definitely been a good space to be. Cucumber market, a little bit softer. It's not quite as firm. I think we saw some stuff dip a little bit below 20 on the super selects this week. We probably more in that 18 to 20 range on the supers. If you look across at 16, 18 on the large or the large select, somewhere in that neighborhood. So not terrible, but definitely a little softer.
Well, one thing that surprised me, I was looking at the crossing reports, and there was actually a 26% increase in numbers reported on slicer cukes over the
Oof.
last week over week. So it makes a lot of sense that the pricing would be softer, but we'll see if that trend continues with all this heat that we've been seeing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that definitely will have an impact. Eggplant staying strong, staying beautiful, uh, looking good. Yeah, so the eggplant market's still knocking around that $20 range, anywhere from 18 to $20, and it's been there for a couple of weeks. So don't see any changes there. What did any thoughts or any news on the OG cuke market? I just intended to hit that before we.
Man, that's that one has definitely hit a bit of a rough patch. Anytime the organics are running at parity with conventional, you actually tend to see them dip below the pricing on conventional, just as they need to be. The marketplace, the demand for it is much smaller than the conventional counterparts. I'm thinking that market will work through the pipeline over the next week or so. Hopefully next week it'll be back up above conventional pricing. 36 count organic cukes anywhere from, I've seen quotes as low as $10 hard to $16.95. So hopefully that'll sort itself out. But there definitely is a lot of product in the marketplace right now.
And broken record, but green bell still hard to find, and lots of high prices and no volume, or very
If,
limited volume for demand.
if
So
you got them, they're gold. So
yeah,
upwards $36-$38 on extra large fruit. Even the choice still $30 right now. So get it while it's hot.
quite a market. Yeah, quite a market on that, and it's amazing just how strong it's been this summer for sure. Jalapenos, more Masermenos, same as last week, maybe a little softer. Quite a bit of volume coming in on the jalapeno deal, but quality, well, at least what I'm seeing over in retail, has been pretty good quality. I picked some up this last week, and they were really nice jalapenos and had good kick too. So
Nice.
yeah.
And their salsa counterpart, Roma tomatoes, they are still holding strong. $20.95 on the low end to quotes as high as $26.95. Somebody was saying they wanted to push at $28.95. I was just shaking my head. Keep the market moving, keep the product moving. The last thing we need are bright red salsa tomatoes. Those are available out there, and those are definitely sub $20 if you can buy them, turn them as quickly as possible. But that's about the only place you might find a deal out there in the Roma market right now.
So I'm thinking they may just take out this tomato suspension agreement, may just go away. There'll be no need for any kind of pricing. We just go back to normal markets. What do you think?
I'm gonna go ahead and reserve comments right there.
Damn, thought I might be able to goad you into some exciting news here, but we'll I'll say well, we won't get there. But anyway, yeah, Roma markets are good. That's great. Overall, tomatoes is good news. All right,
So
man. Well, look.
I did before we start our sign off. I did want to mention, as a follow up to one of our previous stories,
Uh-oh.
we talked 2 weeks ago, I believe it was, about the Driscoll's super sweet strawberries.
Oh God, yeah.
So you and I were on a trip last week together, and thankfully we happened upon some very good looking strawberries. They happen to be the Driscoll's. What are they? Sweeter bites? Or
See, I know you're gonna put them on the spot. Sensational sweets. Gosh, damn, they're gonna fire us.
I know. Well, at this point, we're lucky to still have jobs. So anyway,
Oh yeah, there. What was the damn name of the Driscoll berry? Come on.
you look that up while I go ahead and
Yeah,
talk about
you
it.
go ahead and talk about it. Yeah, I'm on. Yeah,
We'll
go
we'll
ahead.
let the producers do their magic and make us sound a lot more intelligent than we're making ourselves sound. So
Yeah.
we happened upon these strawberries, and you and I had had the chance to try some. And I will say, the very first bite that I had was It was outstanding, almost bordering on too sweet for my taste. I'm not a big sweet guy to begin with, but my God, they were sweet. It almost had connotations of the cotton candy grapes.
Yeah.
Very very sweet. You could still have you can sense the strawberry flavor in there, but it was almost overpowered by the sweetness of these berries. Granted, you and I went and grabbed the reddest berries that we could find in the box or the clamshell. I went with one that was still had some white shoulder on it, and that one actually tasted very nice. You had good strawberry flavor, and the sweetness was not overpowering. But shout out to Driscoll's; they were very very good strawberries.
So, I mean, I'm looking here, and this is not it. I mean, it's not Tropical Bliss, was it?
No, now you're gonna make me find it. Oh man. Sweetest batch.
Sweetest
Driscoll's
batch.
sweetest batch strawberries.
Good. All right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, it's Sweetest Batch.
Shout out to Driscoll's sweetest batch strawberries. Those are fantastic.
And I didn't give. I need to give my 2 cents though, right? So we were together. We decided we would enjoy these berries. So I too thought, wow, it's a really good strawberry, and it was nice.
There's a
However,
butt coming. There's a butt coming.
well, I just, in all fairness, and I don't even some rando brand that, and so it's not, it's somebody else I got, and I guess I should, for their sake, I should remember them since they are kind of, it's a rando brand, it's a local brand or something. I don't know. The berry was, it was probably as good. Now, here's the thing. Here's my curious question, right? So I really like the Driscoll berries. If I see that label, you can rest assured I'll buy them. I'm a Driscoll fan, period, when it comes to any of the stuff they do. Here's my curious question on the strawberries, right? Which is what it's supposed to be. Is like I got Rando brand, and it was pretty close, but it's that time of year. Strawberries that. What I want these berries is I want to taste them if they've got them in the wintertime. Because summertime strawberries, it's you're able to ship them, and most everybody's shipping them at a pretty ripe stage. Of course, if you're in California, it's probably even more ripe than what I have to face, when I'm back home in Dallas or whatever. Yeah. But anyway, that's my curious question. Hats off to them. Berry tasted great. I'm with Matt. All good. But just as a comparison, I got some additional berries from somebody I can't think of the name of that were equally as good. And so I'm sorry to that company I can't think of it is. I'd be giving you a shout out, but I couldn't even remember the Driscoll names, that guys. So forgive me.
Well, if there's anybody out there from Driscoll's watching or listening to this, we will happily take some samples in the winter months. And we'll compare and contrast what we had.
You know what? And frankly, you could send me, like, you will sample the blueberries, raspberries, trays of berries. Just send them our way, and
my kids will definitely eat them.
Oh my gosh! So love their blackberries, out of Mexico particularly. Anyway, I think we've done enough. We did not create a shorter version. I mean,
we tried.
We did. We really did. In fact, I looked at the articles today and I was like, oh, we're going to blow through that quickly. But anyway, Matt, I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a safe travel to Michigan with the family. And hope you guys have a really good time and a safe trip.
Thank you. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. As soon as we sign off here, I'm going to go throw some clothes in the bag because that's my style. I don't not a planner.
Is it a paper stack?
No, actually, it's a bucket. I stole it.
You should get a bucket. I was going to say
your food bucket.
Those are reusable. You're right. You wash that bucket out, put your clothes in, and take it with you to Michigan.
Just like the RPCs, we'll wash them out and reuse them.
I think it's a great idea. All right, brother. Well, look, I will be back. I don't know if I'll be doing this show next week. It's highly probable I'll be in the freaking oven this
You'll
time
be in the
next
car,
week.
Won't you?
No, I think I'll be there. I think, I think I'll actually be. I think next week, I think the show will be from the desert for old Craig. I think you and I will be much near each other. So I'm looking forward to it. It's great. Love it out here. But like Dorothy said, there's no freaking place like home.
Click your ruby slippers together 3 times.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I'm getting them clicked and getting ready to go. Guys, we're going to go for today. Thank you very much for listening. Thanks for taking the time out of your schedule or you on your drive in. Really appreciate it. Guys, stay tuned and keep listening. Give us a shout out. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. Just give us some feedback. Shoot us an email. You can shoot me an email at cslate@thefreshcred.com. It's an easy way to get in touch with me if you want to support the show or just bitch about the show. Either one, we'll take it all. So anyway, guys, take care and we'll see you soon. We're out.
Go Lions.
Bye. Go Lions. They're better than what we had in my day, Matt. I'll tell you that.
Well, I mean, back in your day, you guys were playing with your abacus trying to record a podcast.
Hey, now, don't talk about my abacus like that. Not publicly, anyway.